Paul Bettany's a good friend that you've done drugs with, right?
That's a strange question. Paul Bettany is a good friend. Yes.
You've done drugs with him?
Yes, I have.
Cocaine, right?
Cocaine, yes.
Alcohol?
Alcohol, yes.
Pills, including Xanax and Adderall, right?
That I'm not so sure of.
Okay.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. We continue our coverage of the high-profile defamation case of actor Johnny Depp against his ex-wife Amber Heard. And after 2 days of direct examination with long, drawn-out responses from Johnny Depp, very different feel today. Now Amber Heard's attorneys are the ones asking the questions. It's led to some very contentious exchanges at times, to say the least. So day 8 now in this dueling defamation trial with Hollywood A-lister Depp suing for $50 million. His ex-wife countersuing for $100 million. We promise you will not miss a second of this testimony, and you haven't. So let's bring you back inside the courtroom for more cross-examination of Johnny Depp.
Specific. Sorry. Can you please pull up Exhibit 839? Your Honor, this is a recording. And we plan to play 6 minutes and 55 seconds through 7 minutes and 29 seconds.
Is this a recording we already have in? No, this is a new recording.
I don't believe so, but I'm not 100% sure if this has been
839?
the Defendants 839.
Is there any objection to that audio recording?
I don't believe, assuming this is an audio recording between Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard, then we have no objection.
All right.
is.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And so no objection to it being entered in evidence, correct?
That's correct.
And it's full content, but we're just playing a portion of it, is that
That's
correct?
exactly
Okay.
right.
All right,
Yep.
839 in evidence then. Okay, thank you.
And permission to play the clip mentioned to the jury?
Okay, I assume there's no objection since it's in. That's fine, go ahead.
By pounding on the door, waking up every 15 minutes and then falling asleep next to the door so I could hear you snore. In case if you vomited, I could call EMS if you ever stop snoring.
Because you're afraid I was going to die.
I thought you would choke on your own vomit, which is very likely with you.
Really?
Yes, very
But I
likely.
vomit a lot.
Yes.
What?
Yes, you do vomit a lot. In your sleep, even more.
Good.
Oh, it's news to you? Then this is affecting you a lot more than I thought it was.
That'll be used.
Can you please pull up Defendants Exhibit 1094?
Your Honor, may we approach briefly?
Mr. Depp, do you recognize this picture as being a picture of you?
Yes, Miss Heard kindly showed it to me the day after she took it, yes.
Okay. This picture, no. I'd move for the admission of Defendants Exhibit 1094 and ask for permission to publish, Your Honor.
We have no objection, Your Honor.
1094 evidence.
This is a picture of you on a black leather couch, passed out, correct?
Passed out's an interesting way of putting it. Maybe asleep.
Where is it? What residence?
That's in Boston.
I'm sorry?
That was in Boston when I was doing Black Mass.
In Boston. And that's ice cream on your lap, correct?
It is indeed. Ms. Hurd asked me to hold the ice cream as she noticed that I was on the nod. That means falling asleep from the 17-hour day that I'd worked and also the opiates that I'd ingested. And if you'll notice, my right hand is in my pocket. So I wasn't participating in the festival of ice cream.
Okay.
I was holding her ice cream, and because she knew what was going to happen,
Okay.
that I would fall asleep and it would drop. And that was a wonderful picture to take for her.
Sure.
I don't know why she took it, but
Well, so it's Miss Hurd's fault that that picture was taken. Is that what you're saying?
she snapped it.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about this because you say you were in Boston. This is when you were filming Black Mass,
Yes, sir.
and you testify that that was kind of the last film that you did when you were taking opiates, right?
Yes, it was right before the the trip to the island.
And you testified
detox.
yesterday that opiates, you don't take opiates to get high, right? You've testified to that on a couple different occasions, correct?
You certainly can take opiates to get high. If I doubled the dose, then I would most assuredly be ready for sleep. That's
Right.
not a blackout. That's
Sure. So if you
Sleep.
double the dose, you'd be ready for sleep, but it wouldn't get you high in the way that other drugs would, correct?
well, the high is there's it's a extreme downer. That's its job.
Right. And for that reason, I believe you testified yesterday or 2 days ago. It's not like you take those pills to get high. You remember giving that testimony, correct?
I said that it's not like I took the pills to get high. I took the pills to
Thank
be
you.
normal, to stay normal, so
Okay,
that I
let's pull
wouldn't
up
get sick.
866, please.
What number did you say? I'm sorry.
Defendants Exhibit 866.
Thank you.
But I also believe that I said that I had asked Nurse, or I told Nurse Debbie that I had told her that I needed more than I actually took because I always wanted to have 1 or 2 in my pocket just in case the kick started.
If you could take a look at the text at the top of that page.
Yes.
It's a text exchange between you and Erin Borum. Erin Borum, you testified as one of Dr. Kipper's nurses, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is a text exchange that you had with her in August and September 2016, correct?
Sorry, I'm looking for the, oh, yes. Which one are we looking at here?
The
Up at the
top
top.
3. And in the first, she tells you that she's watching Black Mass for the third
Yes.
time, right?
So August 30th, yes.
Yep. And, Your Honor, I'd move for, I'd like to admit this exhibit 866 and permission to publish, please. And particularly, I'm talking about the top 3 texts.
The top, so redacting the other text, just the top 3 texts and the identifying
Yes, Your-
information.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we have no objection, but we would ask that the 4th text message be included as well as
So the top
context.
4 text
Sure.
messages.
And obviously, the phone number is redacted as well.
Of course.
Let's get that up, and see what that looks like.
Okay, so this sidebar is now underway. We're going to take the opportunity just to take a brief intermission, but we're going to bring you back live into court as Johnny Depp resumes his testimony now on cross-examination. He's being questioned by ex-wife Amber Heard's attorneys. You're not going to miss a thing right here on Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
9 now.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. Insults, injuries, a severed finger. On the witness stand, Johnny Depp has described for the jury the tumultuous relationship he had with his ex-wife Amber Heard during their dueling defamation cases. The award-winning star has directly addressed Heard's allegations of domestic abuse head-on, arguing that it was actually Amber Heard who was the aggressor in many of these altercations, including the 2015 incident when he severed his finger after he says Heard threw a vodka bottle at him. So now Depp is facing cross-examination from Heard's attorneys. Let's take you back into court right where we left off.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michelle, could you blow up that third text? It starts with "You are the sweetest," please. And in this text to Ms. Borum, after she's telling you that she's watching Black Mass for the third time in a row, you wrote, "Ha ha ha." You see that? Did I read that right?
Yes, you did read that right.
Okay. Now, you can take that down. You've trashed hotel rooms before simply because you've had a bad couple days and an unpleasant time, correct?
I have assaulted a couch or two. Yes, sir.
You'd agree that at times in your life you've expressed yourself through destructive behavior?
Yes.
And you'd agree that at times when you were angry, you smashed things up, right?
More in my confused sort of youth, yes.
And you said in an interview one time, you said the following quote, "You know, you have bad days and, you know, some guys go play golf, some guys, you know, smash hotel rooms." You've said that before, right?
It was
It's just a yes or no question. You've said that before, right? In an
I've
interview.
said it as a joke,
And
yes.
you believe that if something feels stronger than you, that it's a human reflex to smash something or throw something against a wall or punch a door, correct?
I don't believe that I'm the only human being that's ever punched a door or broken something in an internal bout with myself. No,
You-
I
you
don't
believe
believe
that
that I'm
that's-
unique in that way, sir.
You believe that that's something that happens when you get frustrated, right? And that it's a mini explosion that comes and goes quickly. You agree with that, right?
When I was younger, it was a little bit more accessible, if you will.
Right. Let's pull up Exhibit 143, please. Can you scroll down? This is an email exchange between you and Stephen Duders, your personal assistant, in April of 2019. Do you see that?
Yes?
And it's 2 pages, I believe. So let's go to the second page, please. Or the bottom of, right there. And you see that on April 19th, 2012, you wrote him, "I got drunk and destroyed my room. There are hookers and animals in here." Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Your Honor, permission to, or I'd like to move for admission of Defendants Exhibit 143 and permission to publish, please.
As long as the email addresses are redacted, we have no objection, Your Honor.
All right, just redacting the email addresses, but the full content comes in, is that correct?
Yes, Your
Okay, I
Honor.
want to make sure I got it straight. Okay. Redact the identifiers. All right, you agreeable to
Let's just,
that?
can we just, let's make sure that that's the only, is that the only email address? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Wait a minute, could you go down to the second page again for a second?
Go down to the second page, please.
To the signature line. Okay. All right.
Can we just see the top again?
Okay.
Let's go to the top.
The top of the first
The
page,
top of the first
please.
page, thanks.
Okay,
In
thank
fact,
you.
is it-
No
Approved.
objection? Okay.
Do you mind if I read this, or are you going to
Right.
read this to me?
We're gonna take a look at it.
All right, 143 in evidence, you can,
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you scroll down, Michelle? So you write to Mr. Deuters, I got drunk and destroyed my room. There are hookers and animals in here. And then if you scroll up, he writes simply, watch out for Mike Tyson. Have you num-nummed? Correct. And then you write, don't want nummies. Thank you. Is it okay to put on a condom after the fact? I mean, if I just wear it for the rest of the day, like, that works, doesn't it? I've had to kill a few of the animals for sustenance. I've made quite a mess. There's blood and animal tracks everywhere. Did I read that right?
You did.
Okay. And you are currently in a lawsuit for assaulting a crew member on the set of one of your movies in July 2018, correct?
Yes, someone
Yeah.
brought a case against me.
Right. A man by the name of Greg Rocky Brooks is suing you for allegedly
Objection,
punching
Your
him
Honor.
twice in the
Relevance
ribs.
and
All right,
403 and 404.
Mr. Depp, I'm not going to ask you any questions about the particulars of that lawsuit, but other than this, the two bodyguards who were with you on the set of the movie on the day that's the subject of that lawsuit were Sean Bett and Jerry Judge, correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, can we please take the exhibit?
Sure, yeah, we
that's
can take that
available
down. Thank you. I'd like to shift gears and talk about Hicksville. You remember taking a trip to a place called the Hicksville Trailer Palace in late May 2013, correct?
I do indeed. How could I forget?
And the people, it's like a little mini trailer resort out near Palm Springs, Joshua Tree area.
That's correct.
All right. And the people that were there with you on that trip were Amber, her sister Whitney, right? A woman by the name of Christy Sexton, right?
Oh, yes, okay.
Rocky Pennington,
Yes.
right? Someone named Kelly Sue Milano or Kelly Sue Eater.
You got me.
You just remember Kelly Sue, right?
I don't remember a Kelly Sue.
Okay. Well, in fact, Kelly Sue, you recall, was sitting close to Amber, and you thought she was being affectionate toward her. You'd agree with that, right?
Sitting close is not the description I would give it myself.
Well, you just testified you didn't remember someone named Kelly Sue, but I'm putting it to you.
Well, I
You remember
remember-
someone named Kelly Sue who was sitting close to Amber and being affectionate, and you took exception to that, didn't you?
I wasn't aware that her name was Kelly Sue. Terribly sorry about that. I didn't know her name, but it was someone I'd never seen before who had clearly taken some happy something and was very affectionate with my girlfriend.
And so you removed Kelly Sue's hand from Amber, and you yelled at Kelly Sue and told her that Amber was your girl, right?
That's not correct.
That's not correct?
No, sir. Not in the way that you're saying it. I certainly did remove her hand from Amber, if that's the answer to your question. But I think it's not.
Well, Mr. Depp, it's not a matter of how I said it, it's a matter of how you've said it. So let's take a look at page 239 of the UK transcript, please. This would be day 2.
$229?
239.
239.
Page 18.
Sorry.
That's all right, a lot of papers.
239, yes.
It's going to be 239 and 240.
Okay. Thank you.
And you see on page 239, line 22, you're being asked a question about the incident we've just been discussing. And you're asked a question. And how did you deal with that uncomfortable situation?
Where are you reading from, sir? I'm sorry.
Page 239, line 22.
22, okay.
Yep. You got it?
Yes, I do.
All right. Question, and how did you deal with that uncomfortable situation? Answer, I removed Miss Kelly Sue's hand from Miss Heard's body, and I told her, do not do that. That, first of all, that is my girl. Second of all, it is rude and invasive. She was quite glassy-eyed, and she seemed pretty unsure of her surroundings. She seemed very unstable on her feet, and I remember saying to her, if you were going to take this drug, MDMA, you should know if you were able to handle it or not, correct? Did I read that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And after this incident, you went back into the trailer that you and Miss Heard were sharing, and you had a big argument, right?
Yes, there was an argument.
And the argument started about Kelly Sue, correct?
I don't
Amber was
recall.
unhappy with your reaction to her and what happened, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the objection, if you could rephrase.
You had an argument with Miss Heard, and you understood her to be upset with the way that you had handled that situation with Kelly Sue, correct?
I mean, I recall that that was a part of the argument, but as I had told Ms. Heard, I was sorry if this, I mean, I was protecting Ms. Heard's honor, and I was protecting my girl from someone who was clearly unable to deal with the substances that she'd taken.
Right.
She was a
And-
little forward.
And I know that there will be differing accounts of what happened in that trailer over the course of this trial, but you would agree with me, Mr. Depp, that at a minimum, you smashed up a bathroom sconce during that argument, correct?
Yes, sir. I punched a bathroom sconce. It was
And-
right by the mirror.
And apologies if we've already covered this, but this trip was in late May 2013?
I don't recall.
Ish. Okay. If you could pull up Exhibit 181. Michelle, this has already been admitted into evidence this morning, Your Honor.
All right. 181?
No.
No, I don't have 181 in evidence.
Did we not? Oh, you know what? I forgot that this morning. I'm sorry. So 181. Yep, that's right. Yep, we haven't looked at this one yet this morning. Mr. Depp, I'm going to ask you about the third text down. This is a text exchange from you, a text message from you to Paul Bettany on July 11th, 2013, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then above that, there's a text message exchange between you and your sister, Christy, on July 10th, 2013. correct?
The text above it, yes.
Yeah. Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Exhibit 181 of just those three texts.
No objection, Your Honor, with the proper redactions.
All right, we could get those redactions done.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so you have been hearing testimony from Johnny Depp as he's been facing cross-examination by attorneys for ex-wife Amber Heard as she countersues him, these dueling defamation suits. Of course, we're going to keep following the latest here on Court TV. We'll bring you back into court so you won't miss a moment. We'll take you back in right where we're leaving off.
At joincalibrate.com.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. Of course, serious allegations of abuse have been hurled in front of a Virginia jury this week in the dueling defamation cases of Johnny Depp and ex-wife Amber Heard, with both sides laying blame on the other. We've seen images of injuries they sustained during their apparently tumultuous relationship. And during his 3 days on the witness stand, Depp has repeatedly denied ever getting physically violent with Heard. He argues that Heard actually abused him. So let's bring you back in right where we left off with cross-examination of actor Johnny Depp on the stand.
I'm sorry. Could you please clarify which text messages are going to be offered?
The top three.
Top three.
Thank you. Yes.
There we go.
All right, any objection then to those redactions? All right.
No objection.
Okay, 181 in evidence with redactions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
I'd like to take a look at the text that you sent to Paul Bettany on July 11th. If you could blow that up, please, Michelle. And we just talked about this trip to Hicksville. If you just, yeah, there we go. If you go to the second paragraph, or the kind of the fourth line down, you write to Mr. Bettany, missing you and yours, and await our dangle on the island. You may have to drink for me. I, of course, pounded and displayed ugly colors to Amber on a recent journey. I am an insane person and not so fair-headed after too much of the drink. Weed, pills, fine. Booze, my capacity is too large and I won't stop. Ugly and sad, oh, how I love it. Did I read that right?
You did.
If you go up, please, this is a text message from exchange between you and Christy, in which Christy texts you, she wants to talk to me, she doesn't know what to do, loves you, but doesn't know always what to do. She's worried about it all. And you write to her, it was not pleasant today. I wasn't aware. That's what you wrote to your sister about Amber on July 10th, 2013. Did I read that right?
You did.
I'd like to turn to, you can take that down, Michelle. I'd like to turn to the Boston plane flight that we've talked about a little bit in the trial.
Certainly. Yes.
The night before the flight, and sorry if we covered some of this, but just to orient the jury to the sequence of events. The night before the flight, Miss Heard was in New York, and you were picked up in Boston by private jet. So the jet that you chartered picked Miss Heard up along with Savannah McMillan, and then flew to Boston and picked you up along with some other people. Is that right?
That's correct.
And then all of you flew back to Los Angeles.
That's correct.
And the night before that you were due to meet up to take this plane flight, you and Miss Heard had a heated discussion on the phone about scenes that she was doing in a movie with James Franco, right?
I don't recall what the argument was about. There are many to...
Let's go to page 293 of your UK transcript, please.
Yes.
Did I say 293?
Yes.
Okay. And on line 22, you were asked a question, the night before you were due to meet up, did you have a heated discussion on the telephone with Miss Heard about what was happening with James Franco, the scene she was doing with James Franco? Answer, I do not recall, but it is highly likely. Did I read that right?
In fact, I'm not sure where you are.
Okay. Day
Sorry.
2, page 293. It's on page 32 of the document.
Line 22, I think, is the issue.
Page 32, line 22. Thank you, Your Honor.
Line 22.
Line
Okay.
22 on page 32.
Yes.
Too many numbers. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
found it, sorry. Thank you.
question, the night before you were due to meet up, did you have a heated discussion on the telephone with Miss Heard about what was happening with James Franco, the scene she was doing with James Franco? Answer, I do not recall, but it is highly likely. Did I read that right?
You did.
And you suspected that Amber was having an affair with James Franco, correct? That was the reason for your argument.
Yeah, yes.
And when you got on the plane, you considered that she was also being judgmental toward you because she believed that you were inebriated and under the influence of drugs, correct?
That was a constant.
And I'm talking about this particular plane flight.
Well,
You considered that she was being judgmental toward you because she believed you were inebriated and under the influence of drugs when you got on this plane, correct?
Yes,
And at some point on the flight, you ended up sleeping on the bathroom floor, right?
I did.
You testified to that yesterday, correct?
I did, yes, sir.
And when you landed, you were quite ill when you landed in Los Angeles, correct?
I don't recall being quite ill. It's possible. I don't know what you're referring to. But
Let's
maybe you
take
could
a look
take me
at
there.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at page 313 of your UK transcript, please.
3:30.
It's on page 37 of the document.
May we approach, Your Honor?
3:30.
All right,
I'm
let's
sorry.
approach for a second.
So we're just going to take this opportunity to take a brief intermission here on Court TV. But as you see, actor Johnny Depp has been on the stand for the third day now, this time facing some tough questions on cross-examination from the attorneys of his ex-wife Amber Heard as they sue each other. Of course, we're going to continue our coverage here on Court TV, and we're going to bring you back into court right where we're leaving off. So keep it right here.
.com.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. You know, tensions are at an all-time high in the dueling defamation cases of actor Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard, with millions of dollars and, of course, reputations on the line here. Remember, it all started with that 2018 op-ed that Heard wrote in the Washington Post. Depp claims that she defamed him, suggesting that he abused her, even though he was not explicitly named in that particular piece. The jury will also consider Heard's countersuit against Depp, which seeks $100 million in damages and alleges that his legal team falsely accused her of fabricating claims against Depp. So today we've heard Johnny Depp on the stand for the third straight day. This time he's being cross-examined by Heard's attorneys. So let's take you back into court.
Mr. Depp, do you have page 313 in front of you?
I do, sir.
Okay. Can you just read, you can read to yourself, the page 313, line 14, that starts with the word were. Okay? And then read that question and answer.
Yes, sir.
Does that refresh your recollection that you were quite ill when you landed in Los Angeles?
Yes, but it doesn't refer to me being ill on the plane.
Sure. Okay. We'll get to the plane ride in a few minutes.
Oh, I thought we just did.
Let's turn to Exhibit 236, please. Defendants Exhibit.
Sorry, I've got a mess going on over here. I've,
Yeah.
It's on the screen.
oh, and I don't have a mess. So, excuse me.
These are text messages that you sent to Amber on May 25th, 2014, the day after that plane flight, correct?
Okay. Yes, okay, yes.
Your Honor, move for the admission of Exhibit 236 and ask for permission to publish with the identifiers redacted.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, if you could just redact those identifiers. All right, 236 in evidence with the redactions. You can
And
publish.
thank you.
Okay.
Blow up the top email, please. And in this email to Amber, the day after this plane flight, you write her and you say, once again, I find my place, start over. Once again, I find myself in a place of shame and regret. Of course, I am sorry. I really don't know why or what happened, but I will never do it again. I want to get better for you and for me. I must. My illness somehow crept up and grabbed me. I can't do it again. I can't live like that again. And I know you can't either. I must get better, and I will. For us both, starting today, I love you. Again, I'm so sorry, so sorry. I love you and feel so bad for letting you down. Yours. Did I read that right?
You did.
And let's pull up Exhibit 245 one more time, which has been admitted into evidence this morning, Your Honor.
Correct. With the ID, which is ID identification.
And Mr. Depp, I know that we've seen this before this morning, but your email that I just read to you to Miss Heard, or your text, was from May 25th, 2014. 5 days later, you text your good friend Paul Bettany, and you tell him that you had drank all night before you picked up Amber to fly to LA. You tell him that you had had no food for days, powders, which is cocaine, right? Powders is cocaine, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Half a bottle of whiskey, 1,000 Red Bull and vodkas, pills, 2 bottles of Champers on plane, and then you write, what do you get? An angry, rage at the one I love.
I
For
see
little
that.
reason as well. I'm too old to be that guy, but pills are fine. Did I read that right?
You did.
Now, the 2 bottles, you can leave that up. The 2 bottles of champagne on the plane, that was about, when you wrote 2 bottles of champagne on the plane, that was about the plane ride from Boston to LA, correct?
Yes, it comes just after 1,000 cans of Red Bull.
And at least parts of that plane flight, you were in a blackout, right?
There's
Okay, so we're just going to hit pause there, but you're not going to miss a thing because, of course, we're going to bring you back in where we're leaving off with the testimony of Johnny Depp being cross-examined now by Amber Heard's attorneys. But I want to bring in at this point some experts joining us here in studio. Forensic psychologist Don DeLatorre in San Antonio, Texas. And right here, criminal defense attorney Josh Schiffer joining us live here in our Atlanta studios. John, perhaps we should start with you. John, we're listening now to this cross-examination, very different kind of feel to what we saw the first 2 days that Johnny Depp was on the stand, where there were these long, drawn-out answers. How's it going for him?
I think it's going well. The longer that cross-examination goes, the more Johnny is learning how to manage being interrupted. It doesn't sound like that he's all that good at being interrupted, but the longer that this goes on, he's kind of learning. He's getting these quick witticisms in there, so he's learning the repartee that's going on between the two of them.
Josh, what do you think?
I think that's a really great point being made because you're right. It's like a sports adjustment where we know this is going to be a marathon. This is going to be days, potentially many days of vicious exchanges. That change in attitude, I'm now going to be paying attention to that. That really hit with me.
You know, John, we've been hearing also about these kind of text messages and specifically the text exchange that Depp had with actor Paul Bettany and some really kind of horrific language that they used describing Amber Heard. How important is this going to be? Of course, it's something that's captured a lot of media attention, but how important is this going to be for the jury?
Where the jury's going to have to understand the close relationship that these 2 actors must have had, that he's willing to admit to a lot of these vile kinds of things, the vile kinds of actions that he's done, or the vile kinds of fantasies that he's had about Amber. So it's gonna play a huge role.
Well, thank you so much, John DeLatorre, joining us. And Josh Schiffer, thank you so much for joining us here in studio. Always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much, Joy. It's great to see you.
Well, look, keep it right here on Court TV because we're going to continue our coverage of the trial of Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. We're stepping away for just a quick break, but we're going to bring you back into court right where we're leaving off. Thanks so much for watching Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
Join Calibrate.com.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Joy Lim-Nakran in for Julie Grant this afternoon. We continue our coverage of the high-profile defamation case of actor Johnny Depp versus his ex-wife Amber Heard. Remember, Depp is suing Heard for $50 million over a 2018 Washington Post op-ed that she wrote. He claims that she defamed him, painting him as a domestic abuser. Well, she's countersuing him for $100 million, also claiming defamation, among other things. This is the third day now that Johnny Depp has been on the stand. The first 2 days he was on direct examination, gave some long, drawn-out responses to his own attorneys, but today he is taking some questions from Amber Heard's attorneys, and at times it has certainly been contentious. So we want to take you back in right where we left off in court.
There's no reason to tell Paul Bettany that you were in a blackout if it wasn't true, correct?
There are again, when I write something, when I write a text, especially if I'm in a particularly impassioned place, it's a canvas, it's a painting.
Right.
You choose your
appreciate that.
colors.
That wasn't my question, sir. My question was very simple.
Okay.
Would you agree that at least on parts of that plane flight, you were in a blackout?
No, I wouldn't agree that I was in a blackout.
Okay,
I would say
let's
that
look at
there's a
page
difference between
333
a
of your-
blackout and when you're on opiates.
Let's look at page 333 of your transcript, please.
333.
This is day 2. This is from the UK trial.
Yes, we seem to be there a lot. 333.
Your Honor, may we approach, please?
Okay.
Do you see that page, Mr. Depp?
333, yes, I do.
Okay. And you see on line 8, you were asked a question, but parts of that flight are blacked out. Answer, apparently, but yes, apparently that is what I'm saying to Mr. Bettany. Question, yes. Is there any reason why you would say that to Mr. Bettany if it were not true? Answer, probably not. Did I read that right?
You did?
And you would agree that on that flight, you were very drunk and that you had taken drugs either before or during the flight, correct?
I know that I knew that I was going to have a very ugly, I was going to end up with a very ugly situation with Amber, so
Mr.
I
Depp,
doubled up
with respect,
the,
trying to respect the court's time and the jury's time, that was not my question. My question was
I
simply,
understand when you
would
take 5
agree,
minutes to look for a
you would
document.
agree that on that flight, you were very drunk and you had taken drugs either before or during or both, correct?
Objection compound.
All right, sustained.
You would agree that you were very drunk on that flight, correct?
I do not agree that I was very drunk on that flight.
And you would agree that you had taken drugs either before or during that flight, correct?
I had taken a double dose of the roxycodone, which is different than a blackout.
But you don't agree that you were very drunk?
I don't recall drinking a whole, you don't need to drink a whole lot when you're on those things. You don't have time.
You just testified you weren't drunk on the flight, okay?
I don't recall being drunk, no.
All right, let's look at page 335 of your UK testimony.
Okay, Mr. Roddenborn. Where would you like to start?
Line 11, please. You were asked a question. I want to make sure it is quite clear what you are saying about the Boston plane incident. You were very drunk. You had taken drugs either before or during or both. Do you agree with that? Answer, sure. For the purposes of getting through this, let's say yes. Everything you have said, I agree. Did
Yes,
I read that right?
You did. I was caving in from.
That's
I know
my
you
question
mean.
was simply, did I read
Yes,
that
yes,
correctly,
yes,
Mr. Depp?
I understand.
Now, can we pull up Exhibit 243, please? Actually, no, you know what? Let's go to Exhibit 221. Your Honor, this is a recording, and I'd be happy to read. We're going to play three excerpts from it.
Okay, and there's no objections to the entire audio recording coming in, is that correct?
May we approach? I would just like to know what it is first.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so while this sidebar is underway, I want to bring in our guest analyst this hour, forensic psychologist John Delatorre in San Antonio, Texas, and also joining us now, prosecutor and former criminal defense attorney April Sampson in Ermine, South Carolina, joining us. So April, I mean, we've seen this certainly has been contentious at times as this cross-examination is going on. How do you think Johnny Depp is doing? And how do you think that the attorneys are doing?
I mean, I think he's doing as well as can be expected considering all of the things they have to go through. He's starting to get in a rhythm as far as answering.
Yeah. Do you think that the attorney, Mr. Rottenborn there, has been, you know, has he kind of crossed the line into making himself look unlikable to the jury?
I think it can go that way because he's getting in a lot of information, but without explaining kind of where he's going. And he's starting to cut Depp off. And I think that can have a negative effect with the jury. Just let them answer the questions and then try to correct them, not the other way around.
Yeah, it's interesting because I see that Depp really has been pretty courteous to the defense attorney, even thanking him at times. Actually, the sidebar's now over, so we want to bring you back into court as actor Johnny Depp is being cross-examined by the attorneys for Amber Heard.
The first is the start of the audio through 1 minute. Just the first full minute. And then 2:50 through 3:20, 2 minutes and 50 seconds through 3:20. And then 9:30 through 10 minutes.
All right.
Please.
So 221 in its entirety in evidence, but you play those excerpts, got it.
That's your voice making those moaning sounds sound like an animal in pain, right, Mr. Depp?
That's exactly what I said before. Yes, that is sounds like a pained animal, and
Let's
it
go
is
to
my voice.
250, please. then let's go play 9:30, please.
I'll stay with this fucking lady in case she gets sick.
Mr. Depp, do you know who the male voice is who at around 9:41 says no? Voice that
Oh,
was?
I didn't hear those words,
Okay.
but
All right.
yes, that's Jerry Judge, if you wanted me to answer that.
That was Jerry Judge's voice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you finish this flight. You send the text that we've seen to Amber. You send the text to Paul Bettany, and at some point after this, you decide that you want to go to detox. And you went to detox. You testified a little bit about it yesterday in August of 2014 in the Bahamas, correct?
The recording of the pain noises is not from that flight, sir.
Not my question. My question is, you went to detox in August 2014,
I
right?
don't recall exactly.
And you were there on the island with...
Oh, on the island, yes,
Yeah,
of course.
you were there on the island with Amber and Debbie Lloyd and Dr. Kipper, correct?
That's correct, yes.
You and Amber were on one side of the island, right?
Yes,
And Amber was effectively dedicating herself to your well-being during this detox process, correct?
you could describe it as that, as at the beginning, yes, certainly.
She was trying to help you get through it, right?
One would think.
And as far as you know, she's never been in any sort of detox in her life, right? Certainly not when you were together, correct?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And we all heard your testimony yesterday. Detox, it sounds painful. It sounds tough. Fair?
Yes, that's...
And you testified yesterday about her not giving you medications at a certain time, but you, sir, have no personal knowledge of whether or when Amber had been in touch with Dr. Kipper or Debbie Lloyd about when to give you medicine, correct?
I remember...
You have no personal knowledge of that.
Yes, I do. I remember Amber calling them on the radio, and when I was complaining that I needed the meds when I was in agony and went to the shower, she called them up because she had said that I was in a manic state or it was in some mania, and they came up there.
Okay. And sometime after detox, fair, and you said that they came up there, but my point to you is you have no personal knowledge of what Dr. Kipper or Debbie Lloyd communicated to Amber about whether and when to give you medicines. You weren't part of those communications, correct?
Sure I was. I was there during those discussions.
Right, but
there were times sort of written down, but you know, the golden rule essentially is if the patient is in an uncomfortable or dangerous, potentially dangerous state, which would lead to seizures, medication should be distributed. That's what I remember, even though if it was supposed to be delivered at 4 p.m. and it was 3:15 or 3:30,
According to you, that's what you recall the golden rule was, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I mean, that's what doctors and patients
And sometime after detox,
Of course, I've been listening to actor Johnny Depp being cross-examined by Amber Heard's attorney in their dueling defamation cases. We're going to just take a quick break, but you're not going to miss a thing. We're going to bring you back in right where we're leaving off here on Court TV Live.
I'm Tanley Painter in Fairfax, Virginia for the Johnny Depp defamation case. And this is Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
bring you back into court, into that Fairfax, Virginia courtroom where Johnny Depp is on the stand for a third straight day in his defamation case against ex-wife Amber Heard. But we also want to bring you this quick update on another trial that we've been following here at Court TV, the romance novelist murder trial. The state has now rested their case in chief in that trial. Remember, Nancy Brophy is accused of killing her husband of 26 years, Chef Dan Brophy. Prosecutors allege it was because millions of dollars of insurance money was at stake. Well, the trial will resume next Wednesday. We're going to bring you updates as that case develops. But for right now, we want to bring you back into the courtroom where Johnny Depp continues testifying in his case against Amber Heard. Let's take you in right where we left off.
Said Amber, and you said, thank you. Right? Remember that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you, actually, let's pull up. You didn't just express your thanks to Amber. You expressed it to other people as well, what Amber had done for you, correct? Let's pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 120, page 41, please. This is Plaintiff's Exhibit, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Is this a screen thing, or am I searching for something?
This is a screen thing.
Okay, thank you.
The screen thing that we have to rotate. And the only question I have for you is the question on the top of the page.
Yes.
Sent on August 19th, 2014, from you to Paige. Now, Paige is Amber's mom, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of just this page of this exhibit with just that text and the identifiers redacted.
Which page of this exhibit is it?
I'm sorry?
Which page of the exhibit is
It's
it?
at page 41.
Page 41, so.
Or it's listed as Exhibit 120_0041.
Okay, 120, let's make it A, page 41. Do it that way.
That sounds good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, page 41. And do we want it redacted or?
So just to be clear, if it's just the top
Just the top
text
text.
message
Yeah.
and the identifiers are removed, we have no objection.
Okay, so if we
Yep.
redact that way?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And just that page, yes.
And just
Yeah, sure.
page 41. Okay, all right, so 120A in evidence as redacted.
Permission to publish, Your Honor?
Yes, yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Depp, this is in this text that you send to Paige Heard, Amber's mom, on August 19th, 2014. You say the following, and I understand that you gave certain testimony yesterday about what you perceived Ms. Heard's role in your detox to be, but on this date, you sent this text to Ms. Heard, to Paige Heard, and you say, I couldn't have made it without her. I would have gone for a swim and swallowed a big drink of ocean without her, to be honest. It was a hell of my own doing, and your little girl walked through with me step by step. I know you're already proud of her, but if you'd have seen her in action, amazing. It was an exercise of monumental patience and instinct. I wouldn't be alive, sweetheart. There were more than a few times when I thought it would be more simple to take that route. It was Amber and Amber only that got me through this, and it was not easy. Thank you for her first, and thank you for words of support. I'm through the other side now, I think. I hope. All this boy's love, your son Outlaw. Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
You can take that down. Thank you. Now, you flew, you got married to Amber on early February, February 3rd, 2015?
Apparently,
Is that right?
yes.
Okay. You remember the year today? 2015, right?
That sounds about right.
Okay. And a week after your wedding, you left for Australia to start the process of shooting the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie, right?
That sounds about right, yes.
And Amber was filming in London at the time. She left directly from the wedding to fly to London to film London Fields with Billy Bob Thornton, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And the plan was that she was going to fly out from London to Australia directly to join you for the filming of Pirates 5, right?
At some point, yes.
And she was going to stay in that house with you for the duration of the filming, correct?
I don't know that it was the duration, but sure.
Okay. And you testified on Tuesday, I guess, that when you went there in February of 2015, you'd been off of alcohol for 18 months. You testified to that. Remember giving that testimony?
Yes.
That's just nonsense, right? We've already looked at.
Thank you.
May 2014, you were drunk on that plane, and you've admitted to that. So that's not 18 months before. So that testimony that you gave when you said you had been sober for 18 months before you arrived in February of
Objection,
2015 was not true, correct?
What's the objection?
May we approach?
Your Honor.
What's the objection?
He's testifying, Your Honor.
It's a compound. Could you just do maybe one question? Let's do that.
Mr. Depp, you had not been sober off of alcohol for 18 months before you went to Australia in February 2015, correct?
It's possible that it was not 18 months, maybe it was 17, maybe it was 16, maybe.
It was actually a lot less than that, because at a minimum, you were drunk on that plane flight from Boston to Los Angeles in May of 2014.
That's incorrect, sir. I said that I had had a glass of champagne and I had taken a double dose of the narcotics, of the opiates.
Okay.
That's a very different thing from being drunk.
Okay, and a very different thing from what you texted Paul Bettany, correct?
Again.
Okay, so the Boston flight was in May 2014. You go to Australia in February of 2015, having testified that you were off of alcohol for 18 months. Now, when you went to Australia in February of 2015, you also lied to the cast insurance company that was insuring you for Pirates 5, didn't you?
After she cut my finger off?
No, well, that's your account of it, sir. Before you went to Australia, let's do it this way. Let's pull up Exhibit 500, please.
500?
500, Defense Exhibit 500.
Defense Exhibit 500.
Yes, I'd like to see who I lied to.
Mr. Depp, you see this as it's called a cast insurance medical certificate, correct?
Yes, I see that, yes.
Okay. And it's dated, this is in, I believe it's in not the way we do dates in the U.S., because you can see on the lower left column, examinee's start date of filming 16/2/2015. So that means February 16th, 2015, correct?
Correct.
Your
And
Honor,
the date of the exam.
before we go any further, we'd ask to be able to see this entire document.
I'm just asking about the top of it. I'm happy if we want. There's specific parts I'm going to ask him about, but if they want to scroll through it, that's fine.
It's unclear whether Mr. Depp has ever even seen this, so we just appreciate the courtesy of being able to see the entire document.
That's fine, Your Honor. I mean,
All right.
I'm going to direct him to certain parts of it, but that's fine if they want to. I'm just trying to move things along here.
I understand.
I'm sorry?
I have a hard.
Okay, so you have been watching Johnny Depp, the actor, being cross-examined by the attorneys for Amber Heard, that's his ex-wife, who he's suing for $50 million. She's countersuing him for $100 million in these dueling defamation cases. Of course, we're going to bring you back into court right where we're leaving off here on Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
4-9 now.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. We continue our coverage of the Johnny Depp trial against Amber Heard. Of course, Depp is suing his ex-wife, accusing her of defamation. He's seeking some $50 million. She's countersuing him for $100 million. This is Depp's third day on the stand. The first 2 days, direct examination. Today, he's being cross-examined by Amber Heard's attorney. Now, Mr. Rottenborn, Benjamin Rottenborn, one of Heard's attorneys, has just asked for him to review a document. Depp's team asked to review that document before he's questioned on it any further. So let's bring you back into court where we left off.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry. I appreciate that.
Go ahead, Mr. Rottenborn. Your question?
Yes, I do. Mr. Depp, this is your signature on the page of the document being displayed here, correct?
That is
And it's dated February 11th, 2015?
correct.
Your Honor, with the understanding that if the exhibit for the court will have to redact signatures, I'd move for admission of this document and permission to publish.
Any objection?
Your Honor, this may have some medical information, so at this time, we'd like an opportunity to ensure. This is an insurance form with medical information. I just want to make sure we're not publishing anything that shouldn't be.
Your Honor's made clear that anything that comes into evidence in this case will be published to the jury, whether it's
Well, there may be
confidential or
irrelevant
not.
medical information that Your Honor has already ruled is not admissible.
Approach, please come here.
So while this sidebar is underway, we want to bring in our guests. Forensic psychologist John Delatorre in San Antonio, Texas. Also joining us, prosecutor and former criminal defense attorney April Sampson in Ermine, South Carolina. So now we're seeing a little bit of, tension between the attorneys for both sides, and certainly tension between defense attorney Benjamin Rottenborn and Johnny Depp. April, how do you think it's going? Does this kind of cause the defense to lose their momentum in cross-examination?
I think it can. Anything that makes you have to stop, take a break, go back and forth, you do lose some momentum. Sometimes you lose track of where you are. They have a lot of documents to go through, so I'm going to assume that this attorney is prepared for that. But you do lose momentum. You also lose the jury.
John, it's not clear exactly what this document is just yet that the attorneys are talking to the judge about. Clearly, it's something that Rottenborn, the defense attorney, wanted to question Depp on. And then Depp's attorney stepped in and kind of said, hey, wait, we need to take a look at this before you go any further. We should have that opportunity. That said, do you have any guesses as to what this might be?
Yeah, I think it's all connected to this Boston to LA flight. It seems like whenever a cast member joins a film crew or television crew, they have to sign an insurance document to make sure that they're medically healthy. Maybe he put in there that he had been clean off of substances and actually wasn't.
Yeah, all right, and it seems that there is activity once again. So let's bring you back into court.
And then okay. And then can you scroll down, Michelle? Scroll down again. Okay. Your Honor, these redactions were on here before we, I'm told, before we got the document, so no issue there. And then we would propose to just redact the, if you go up one page, I don't, that's the proposed redaction.
All right.
And if you want us to redact the first two, the first three lines, M, N, and 2, that's fine too. Why don't you go ahead and redact those, Michelle?
That's fine with those redactions.
I'm just trying to move this along as quickly as we can, Your Honor.
All right.
All right.
500 then in evidence with the redactions, when you have agreed redactions. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we looked at your signature, Mr. Depp. If scroll down, please, Michelle, 2 more pages. There's your signature. And then this is it's an insurance form for your, that the studio, Disney, took out for your, for you filming Pirates 5, correct?
I guess so, yes.
Okay. And you see the role here, it's listed as Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp, coverage status, full coverage, effective date, February 11th, 2015, right?
I see that.
And you're aware, it's not uncommon for studios to want to insure actors that are playing in a movie in case something happens, right?
It's happened for
common.
30 plus years for me.
Correct. So if you can scroll up, please. And in order to do that, you have to provide certain information to see if you're insurable, right?
Correct.
Okay. And in this document, which you signed, dated, I believe, February 11th, you were asked the question, are you currently using, or in the last 12 months, have you used any of the following? Michelle, let's unredact the, well, there's section B is illegal substances, whether prescribed by a physician or not. And you check the box to the right. Michelle, is there a way to unredact the headers in that column so we can see which one is yes and which one is no? Thank you. So, Mr. Depp, when you were asked the question in this cast insurance form, are you currently using, or in the last 12 months, have you used any of the following? You say yes, that you've used some prescription drugs. And when in the question that says illegal substances, whether prescribed by a physician or not, you check no, correct?
Yes, sir.
At around this time when you can take that down, thank you. At around this time when you flew to Australia in February of 2015, you were starting to feel depressed about your role in Pirates and your acting legacy generally, correct? Well, let's do it this way. Let's put up Exhibit 350, please.
Well, we go ahead and take our lunch break.
Sure. Thank you, Your
This
Honor.
time, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our lunch break. Let's go to 2:10, okay?